One of the things that you often find in Sedevacantist literature is stuff like, well, okay, for example, there's a famous photograph of John Paul II in India, and he is there's an Indian woman who is touching his forehead. And sometimes this gets portrayed as a priestess of Shiva giving John Paul II some kind of pagan anointing or pagan mark on his forehead, and that this is evidence that he's a heretic and is not a valid pope. I'm not saying all Sedevacantists make that argument. I certainly don't claim that. There are different Sedevacantists. They use different arguments, and I'm not trying to tar them all with one brush. I'm just trying to provide an example of a particular phenomena that you find. Well, the problem is that this is all wrong. In fact, the woman in the picture is a Catholic. She's not a priestess of Shiva. She's a Catholic, and what she's doing is a rite of greeting that is commonly used in India among Catholics, and specifically for the celebrant of a Mass, it's often used. It's a rite called Aarti, A-A-R-T-I, and it is something that is not at all what it's represented as. One more thing before we leave the subject of Sedevacantism. I thought I'd read you a little quotation from a letter that was released on November 22nd, 1994, by then Archbishop John Foley. He's now a cardinal. But by then Archbishop John Foley, who was president of the Pontifical Council for Social Communications, in which he addressed this photograph. He pointed out that Indian Catholics use Aarti when a child returns home after receiving First Holy Communion, and when a newly married couple are received by their respective families. Nowadays, Aarti is often performed to greet the principal celebrant at an important liturgical event, as it was on the occasion shown in the photograph. On such occasions, Aarti is usually offered by a Catholic married lady, and certainly not by a, quote, priestess of Shiva, close quote, as it's been alleged. The Aarti ceremonial by Indian Catholics is no more the worship of a heathen deity than is the decoration of a Christmas tree by American Christians a return to the pagan rituals of Northern Europe.